Ah, here we go.
I always look forward to a finale, so...
Yeah. Oh, we've got a little previously. We haven't had many of those.
No. I've only picked up this week. You know he said Poppy is real.
Yeah.
Apparently Poppy is Poppy from Space Babies. And I'm like, what? What? I've not returned to that disaster, so really hoping Russell doesn't do something silly. Well, hello and welcome to the Shallow Proclamation. My name is Paul, and as always, I'm joined by...
Thomas. Hi.
And here we are. We've made it to the end of Season 2 of Ncuti Gatwa's era. We're about to watch the finale. We're actually watching this on the evening of transmission.
Yeah.
So we're doing our best to avoid any spoilers, given that we were spoiled for things the other week. So, yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes, Thomas. I think it's got a lot to do in terms of the number of things it needs to wrap up. My question is, will it? Can it? Should it?
Should it? Oh. Oh, it's her.
Ha! We liked her.
We did. I was not expecting that.
And that's an unexpected. Can't remember her name, but I did think she was a great companion and should have stayed.
Anita. That's it.
Anita. There we go. Yeah.
How did she know to open the door at that point? In
Magic,
that time and
magic
place. Yeah.
I'm glad she's back because she felt like a bit of a wasted opportunity in the Christmas one, being the best part of it and then disappearing.
Yeah. The Christmas episode was quite strong. I was not a fan of how they how they wrapped it up. No way. That was Matt Smith. Wait, what the heck?
Ah, look at that.
This is awesome.
Alex?
Oh, Rogue. Our favourite episode.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But yeah, the concept of the time hotel was very strong, I thought. So I'm glad this is being revisited and Anita and stuff.
I think some people said the problem with the time hotel is that, like, surely if you were a enemy force like the Daleks, you'd be like, right, we'll just go straight in the time hotel.
It is a bit overpowered, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I have a daughter.
The Doctor's daughter. Do you reckon Georgia Tennant will make an appearance? That would be unexpected.
Left of field.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never done this before. Hold on tight. I think reality is reasserting itself.
It's just a bit weird because there wasn't a romantic thing between the Doctor and Belinda throughout the season. And now it's like they have a baby.
I've heard a terrible rumour. I'm going to put it here now.
Yeah.
And I hope it's not true because I would think at this point the whole show has completely lost the plot. But Poppy is the timeless child.
Oh. How would that work?
Well...
Oh,
yeah.
So she's
then dropped back somewhere to be found by...
Tecteun.
If that happens, you're like, oh, flipping it. This is... Why call it Doctor Who anymore? Like...
So the Doctor gives birth to himself. I thought you were about to say Poppy is Susan.
Let's hope
that would
not.
kind of make sense. Or maybe Susan's mum, if Susan is the Doctor's.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's another idea.
Oh, that fire on the road, that was very Back to the Future, wasn't it? At precisely 88 miles per hour, some serious is going to go down. It's a great line, to be fair. Reality is reasserting itself. Smell.
I have been a housewife.
Can you imagine such a terrible thing?
I fought the Rani when I travelled with the Doctor all those years ago.
This should be the best.
Ah, was that her era? Of course. Interesting.
Yeah.
You don't understand. That's why I keep telling you that Poppy is so special because she is impossible, the child of a Time Lord.
And
There's no such thing.
we're sterile.
We are infertile.
The species is barren. We're a biological dead end.
That's interesting. So this is stuff that is from the sort of extended universe, but they're bringing it in.
Oh, okay.
The Indigo device is a transmat, like a matter transporter. You'll be fine.
Project Indigo was from Stolen Earth, wasn't it? Martha
Yeah.
uses it.
Of course.
I summon you traitor of the Time Lords. Come back to this world.
They're going to be pretty powerless against this dude. Oh, wow.
Oh no. I'm hoping, I didn't want some terrible CGI.
Oh, wow. There goes the Rani.
It's a good night for me.
Wonder if that's the last we'll see of her. What happens to these bi-generated... Because... Can she regenerate again, or is that it for her?
That's a good question.
The power of 1 billion supernovas!
So... Okay, never mind. I'm going to let this play out.
I wish you to be happy.
Well, he was dealt with easily.
Yes.
He might pop out again, who knows?
What does this even mean? Like...
Somehow Poppy survived. It's weird because it kind of feels like it's wrapped up the main threat halfway through the episode, and then now what's going to happen? I'm intrigued. There's still a bit of a way to go, so I don't want to speak too soon, but...
You're intrigued, I'm worried. Like,
yeah, yes.
I'm like, Russell, what are you doing?
Intrigued might be another way of saying worried, yeah.
Put the pen down, Russell. Put the pen down. Step away from the show.
Russell, this might have been your first draft. Don't make it your final draft. They've got a baby. This is so bizarre, isn't it?
Really is.
Oh,
Where's she gone?
so they've just forgotten about her.
Yeah.
So I've got to chuck this thing back out into space, then the robots can find it.
Thank goodness we're getting that resolved, because I know we'd all been worried about that, hadn't we? From episode 1.
Yes, yeah. It was keeping me up at night, Paul.
So seemingly, unless this is going to do something else, Anita's job for this story was to hold the door.
They say hello, by the way.
Who does?
The boss.
Now, the thing mentioned the boss, didn't it? The Meep.
Yeah. Is the boss going to be Susan?
Shirley? Do you remember her? No.
Surely you remember.
Don't call me Shirley. We've got to go to the hospital. The hospital? What is it? Well, it's a place where they treat people, but that's not important right now. Oh, seems like Poppy is back on the agenda.
Oh, gosh. I wondered if this was going to be like an Inception thing, that they're still inside.
Yes.
I don't think this is hitting me in the way it's supposed to be hitting me.
No. It's just not really landing, is it?
No.
I have a tosser.
Yeah, she was a blonde woman. Who was born out of you in
She's
season
called
4.
Jenny.
Do you remember at the end of the 50th anniversary, the Doctor was like, is that what I'm supposed to do now? Find Gallifrey? And you're like, wow, this is where the show's going. And now it's like, is this what I'm supposed to do? Find Poppy.
Poppy. Oh, and remember at the Interstellar Song Contest episode, there were a lot of poppies in that, weren't they?
That's true. The honey of the poppy.
Yeah. Foreshadowing
the return of space babies.
Oh, you know what? Now I've spotted that connection, I absolutely love this episode.
Russell Davies is a genius.
Well, but he was a genius in his first time as showrunner. And so I think I would still call him a genius. But this is not genius writing, is it? I mean, but maybe we're speaking too soon. It might wrap this all up in a very satisfying way.
It's not impossible.
Let's be honest. I was the best.
Were you?
But don't tell me.
What?
What? How are you here?
I shouldn't be here at all.
Paul.
Call Doctor
Bloody
Rex
hell.
is getting a little bit out of order.
Oh, I'm surprised it's not the other guy. He is always turning up.
You've redecorated. I don't like it. Does it really need to be bigger? In a room defined by its bigness?
But why are you here?
I've been popped
I wasn't expecting that.
out of my timeline because there's a great
No.
big time schism on its way caused by you.
Time needs to be shifted, Doctor. So I am going to punch a ton of regeneration energy into the vortex to jolt it 1 degree.
Giving your life.
A life for a life. No chance of bigeneration.
No chance of what?
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, never mind, forget I said anything.
So is he going to regenerate?
I think so.
I love you, Doctor.
What? You're saying you love yourself? That is just a bizarre thing to say.
Me.
What is this? What is going
Say
on?
that to Yaz.
You never do.
I should say that to you. You never do. You're the best person I've ever. Oh no, Lucy.
Why, Doctor?
Goodbye, Doctor.
He's a coming.
To be fair, she had a bit of gravitas in that scene. I think maybe just because we hadn't seen her for a while. I don't know, there was just a slight sense of, oh, okay. This is
Whoa.
someone who's been in the doctor seat before. What is going on, Paul? So is this the regeneration?
I've no idea, to be honest, mate. Thank goodness Poppy is saved. My heart is full.
Yes.
So if we get a regeneration here and we actually see who the Doctor becomes, this might be is it a first ever complete surprise?
Her father's Richie. Richie Akimbola. I've known him since I was 21. We got together and, well, Poppy was born.
Well, thank goodness for that.
So it's not the doctor's daughter. The funny thing is, all these twists that keep coming don't feel dramatic at all, do they? It's just like rearranging information.
Yeah, completely meaningless. Turns out a girl who is completely a Zygon duplicate. Like it's just so random.
Anything could happen now, couldn't it?
Yeah, literally.
Even the Chibnall era was more restrained than this. I didn't like the direction it went in, but it did at least choose a direction to go in. Yeah, I feel like she's been shortchanged as a companion. This doesn't feel like a very weighty goodbye, does it?
None of it has felt weighty at all. It's just been... Yeah.
So who is he going to regenerate into? If it ends mid-regeneration, I'm going to be so angry. Because then
I think it will. I don't think they've cast anyone. I don't think they know where the show's going.
Yeah.
I don't think they've got the show nailed down. I mean, I'd like to be wrong. I'd like to be completely proved wrong by what happens now. And we go, oh my goodness, it's so-and-so, or...
He'll regenerate into David Tennant.
I think one thing remains. I love you.
Russell T. Davis. What the
I love you. You're the best person I've ever met. I must tell Yaz that. That's the thing. Like, he said to Jodie Whittaker, "You need to tell Yaz that," but like you could tell her yourself because you're the same character. It's like it's forgetting that it's the same character. It's really bizarre.
Yeah.
Because he even said "I love you" to Jodie Whittaker, didn't he?
Don't want to do this alone.
Oh, who are we getting in now then?
Oh, is that
Oh my word.
a regeneration in space? That's new. Oh no! Imagine
Space
if he fell out.
regeneration.
Imagine if he fell out.
Whoop.
Whoops. Wait, what?
Ha! I'd heard this.
Had you heard that, Paul?
I'd heard the rumours, but I thought nothing could be as stupid as that.
And there was no Susan. Oh, sorry, I should keep going in case there's a...
Because you never know.
Oh my goodness. Well, that did genuinely surprise me. I did not see that coming. Billy Piper. Paul, are we living in an alternate reality where that
is this a different
wasn't
reality
actually a
bleeding through?
Doctor Who episode? That was like a kind of AI generated fan fiction. What did we just watch?
I mean, put it this way: there's a point in the episode where I've written something and I've put down my pen, and not really felt the need to write much afterwards. And I do apologise for this. I've literally just written, "What a load of old shit." I mean, what absolute tripe! Like, just complete crap. Like, every part of it was just a disaster. I mean, so we had... Before coming to this story, I'm like, we've got the Rani, we've got Omega, we've got Susan. That's a lot to clear up in an hour and 10 minutes. Each of those people deserve probably a story of their own. You know, I'm not that excited. You know, I wasn't hugely excited about the Rani coming back. I mean, it's like, yeah, fine. Obviously, the Rani escapes. You know, in some sense, Mrs. Flood escapes, if not her future incarnation is somehow destroyed. But does she live on? We don't really know. I mean, there were a couple of bits in there. I was like, oh, Project Indigo. You know, we've got the Zero Room, which was mentioned, which is a classic era thing, like which actually the Fifth Doctor uses to recover from his regeneration when no signals can get in. Omega. What a waste.
Yeah.
Like, again, I said at the end of last week's episode, I really want to see how they depict him. I hope it's not like Sutek, just a massive dog thing. What do we get? A massive skull skeleton thing. Omega literally doesn't even make it through the door in this story. That's how wasted that figure is. I would have liked to have seen an actual humanoid figure, like a really powerful humanoid person, you know. I would have been much more interested to see them rebuild Gallifrey in some way, shape or form. And instead, what we got is this kind of... Literally, I mean, how many minutes of Omega on the screen? 3? If that. And like I say, it doesn't get through the door. It's all just like wrapped up very easily. Then we get minute after minute of Poppy. Who cares? Like, literally no one. Like, I'd be interested. Let me know in the comments. Was there anyone who's like, I'm really invested in this character of Poppy, and I really hope she stays. I hope that she survives this, because if not, it would just be devastating emotionally.
Well, yeah. I mean, you care about her safety in the way that you care about the safety of any young girl, but there's no sense of investment from a story perspective, is there?
No.
It's like, I don't really know this character.
And then it's like, we've got to get her back. And then it's like, because she's the Doctor's daughter and all that. And then it's like, but she comes back and she's not the Doctor's daughter. Which, thank goodness we didn't go down this horrible road. You're definitely familiar with the phrase, jump the shark, right?
Yeah.
Like this, and to me, this episode felt like, no. Like, there's been a lot of things in Doctor Who where I'd be like, yeah, this has not been very good. Like, the Chibnall era was bad. That was appalling. Like, that was just unadulterated tripe. Like,
I think it might be the worst Doctor Who episode since Capaldi left.
I mean, yeah, in terms of like, I mean, like, you watch something like Space Babies and you're like, this is just rubbish.
Yeah. But I think because of the potential going in, like, the first part of this two-parter was reasonably strong and set up some interesting things, and I was like, okay, I kind of want to see where it goes with the Rani and Omega and Susan. All of those were just massively wasted opportunities, weren't they?
Yeah, no, not developed at all. Just thrown in for 5 minutes and then easily discarded. You know, the Rani, one gets eaten, the other one just teleports away, you know, like... And then, like I say, the Poppy thing. And then, of course, the end, like the regeneration. Like, I mean, I could feel no emotion about that regeneration because I felt no connection to Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't feel it at all. And then I'd heard these rumours that, like,
Billy Piper, what was that?
I'd heard these rumours about, like, Billy Piper and other people.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, when they talked about the Billy Piper one, said, like, well, this is clearly just, like, the tabloids are like, oh, he's going to regenerate into David Tennant again, Some people were saying that, David Tennant will come back again. And you think, no, Russell T Davies, clearly, high on something as he is, would not be so ridiculous as to go down this road. It just feels like you're trolling people at this point. It feels like you're not taking it feels a bit like you're not taking the show seriously anymore. You're just seeing to think, what's the most ridiculous thing I could do? And he's gonna regenerate into Billy Piper. And it's almost become a parody of itself at this point. Like, regenerating back into David Tennant for the 60th specials was like, it's a special anniversary. You can kind of let this go. Like, someone had in a forum or somewhere I was reading, like, said Rusty Davis has a habit of, like, reusing the same people, like, who he works with. Like, it's a lot of that sort of nepotism almost kind of thing going on. You know?
And I like Billy Piper. She was a great companion.
I actually think, and I have to admit, when I think about Billy Piper as the Doctor, I think I maybe as a it could work.
It could work. Could work. Yeah.
But it feels cheap and it feels tacky. Not tacky. It feels like a stunt. It feels like a gimmick, a parody. It feels like, again, like I say, this show's not taking itself seriously. Like, it's completely dropped into self-referential nonsense at this point.
We have been, I think, quite generous to this era of the show. I know a lot of people have been saying Doctor Who's dead for a while, since the Star Beast or since the start of the Chibnall era. We've been holding out hope, and I think we've been positive where we can be, which is why this makes me sadder in a way, because we've tried to see the positives in this era, and there have been positives, and this season has been stronger than the last season and all of that. But there's just no deny, like, however sad I am to admit it, and with the return of RTD and everything and all the hopes I had going into it, and the 60th specials being quite strong in places with Tennant coming back and stuff, I really wanted this to be good and to kind of land it and to feel like, oh, the show can continue. And, I don't want to say Doctor Who is dead, and I still don't want to say that, but I just cannot deny that was a train wreck. And it's hard to see. I think that has just killed the show for a time. I can't see how people are going to be clamoring for another season imminently. No. So I think we're into another wilderness era now, and this is what we've got to remember the modern era by.
Yeah. No, I kind of agree. I'm very much sort of, you've seen the comments in the Chibnall era and through since then, that sort of, Doctor Who is dead. And I always think, it seems very melodramatic. And I've said before, it's like following a football team, like there's high points and low points, and you stick with it. But I'm looking at this now going, well, what's next? Like, what's the play here? Like, is it like we're going to get 3 more specials? And then it's like, this is just a holding thing until we find another person. Like this isn't really the proper thing. And at that point, and in one sense, part of me goes, like, I'd rather that, because it feels, whilst Billy Piper might be excellent, I'd rather the show just didn't. It just felt, like I say, it just feels silly as well, like self-referential nonsense. I'd rather they cast someone new and went in a direction and ran with it. But also, if they do just do like, oh, here's a few episodes with her as the Doctor, it feels like you're just doing the 60th anniversary thing again, and it just feels like you're out of ideas. You're just filling time doing silly things until you come up with a better idea.
And then Whittaker coming back.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that.
She wasn't the best Doctor, but there was still a slight sense of, oh, okay, a multi-Doctor episode, Yeah, so I liked some of the lines she'd been given, but...
like where you see things, like TV shows, and people say, oh, I had this terrible dream. I had this terrible dream that I watched an episode of Doctor Who, and like, there was this whole thing where they brought back someone from Space Babies, and like, there was so much all about that episode, and then Jodie Whittaker turned up, and And then this awful dream that the Doctor regenerated into Billy Piper. And you're like, yeah, but it's not a dream. It's real.
This isn't the alternate reality. This is,
or is it though? Or is this part of it? Like, we supposed? Is the reality? Is that not it? Is this not the case? Are we not seeing reality in some way, shape, or form? The thing is, though, like, because we don't know where the show's going, and it seems to have an uncertain future. You kind of think, like, well, who? Unless Russell T Davies carries on, like, what showrunner wants to pick up this debacle at this stage?
I'm genuinely intrigued to see how
what was Ncuti Gatwa's statement? Ncuti Gatwa up there said Ncuti Gatwa breaks.
You know, when you get cast, at some point you're going to have to hand back that sonic screwdriver, and it's all going to come to an end. The show surprised fans as Ncuti's generated as a Billy Piper. Speaking about her unexpected appearance, the 42-year-old said, "It's no secret how much I love this show, and I've always said I would love to return to the Whoniverse, as I have some of my best memories there. So to be given the opportunity to step back on that TARDIS one more time was just something I couldn't review." So I have a feeling...
Maybe just a short thing.
Yeah. Do we actually have a sense that the show is going to continue with Billy Piper as the Doctor? Or was it just a kind of a gimmick to end on sort of thing?
A gimmicky stopgap thing. Yeah, I mean, and I think if it is just a gimmicky stopgap thing, I mean, I still think, like, it's detrimental, like, because it just feels... It feels like a gimmick, like you say. Like,
yeah.
I thought Rusty Davis had said on somewhere that by regeneration was going to get a bit more of an explanation and stuff. And someone had suggested that Omega was going to kind of say something along the lines of that he had discovered by regeneration, you know, back in the day.
Yeah.
But actually it never, like it's something's gone wrong and the new incarnation never lasts. And that would have been a good way to then sort of get rid of Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor relatively quickly, to be like, and you could have done it with the Rani as well, like another quick, not to say that they die, but they regenerate again properly, because it's like an unstable type thing, or it doesn't. And I would have been I think they just should have gone down something like that, at least down those roads of at least doing something with those threads.
Yeah,
I thought as well, like, are we going to wrap up like everything? Are we wrapping? Because this Ncuti Gatwa era, are we wrapping up like Mavity and all that stuff as well? Like all these things, like.
Because because the thing is, the thing about Time Lords being sterile, that's interesting. Is that a big Finish thing or something? You said it's some expanded universe.
So
stuff.
I think I mentioned before, like once or twice, some of the like novels and probably into Big Finish as well. So the Time Lords. I think originally, I don't know all the backstory. I think originally they were able to conceive, but there was some kind of curse placed on them, so they couldn't. So they now, like, the Time Lords are woven from genetic material in like the looms. They call it looming, so they were loomed. So there's not that like normal birthing process, but it's done via kind of the genetics somewhere.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
And I thought, well, it's interesting that going down that road that the Time Lords are sterile. But it seems an odd road to go down when you're seemingly on the cusp of wanting to explore the story of Susan and the grandfather. You know, she says grandfather, doesn't she? In the episode Interstellar Song Contest, she appears.
Find me, yeah.
But she doesn't appear at all in this episode.
Yeah. So is that it?
And here's the thing. I mean, again, maybe they've got stuff rolling already. I don't know, but it seems like all the rumors are saying we don't know the show's future. There's no next series confirmed. If they've teased a Susan return, and then there's a big gap, or there's a break, and if she dies in real life because she's getting on a bit, I'm going to be like, for goodness sake, like, you had such a great opportunity to do that, and you just thrown it out the window for this nonsense.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and in a sense, I was kind of not looking forward to the Susan thing, because I thought there's just no way in this story, in this one episode, you can deal with this. Like, you can't give it the weight it needs, and with Omega and the Rani and all this going on, I was a bit kind of hoping like they don't do it a disservice. Like, I think they've done the Rani a disservice. I think they've done Omega a disservice. In one sense, I'm kind of glad they haven't done Susan a disservice yet.
It's like this episode. It was like a black hole destroying everything that it sucked in.
I feel like Rusty Davis is like Anakin like lying on the floor at the end of Revenge of the Sith, where they're going, "You were the chosen one.
Yeah.
You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them."
You were supposed to restore Doctor Who, not leave it in darkness. Yeah.
Gosh, yeah.
Because what did it wrap up? I think the only things it wrapped up were Ruby and Belinda. I mean, like, brilliant. But that in itself was trying too much, like 2 companions. And it's like, why? That was a weird choice. Like, why didn't you have 1 companion across the 2 seasons? Why did you kind of wrap Ruby's stuff up at the end of the last season, but then bring her back quite a lot in this? Like, it underserved Belinda, it underserved her. Okay, we kind of got some form of resolution for both of them, and for Comrade, brilliant, and Poppy. All these lovely characters that we're so invested in as Doctor Who fans. And then all the classic stuff was like brought in for hype, teed up, and then just thrown out of the window.
Russell teed up.
And I take no pleasure in saying any of this because I was quite excited for this finale. I went in with moderate expectations. I was like, it's going to do a lot. It might be a bit of a mess, but I hope it at least lands with some kind of punch. I was thinking it might be like the Power of the Doctor finale, like Whittaker's finale, because that was a mess and it tried to do so much. But it was still a kind of fun episode, and it felt like it was quite emotional seeing the old companions again and the old Doctors. That was a better episode. That was a better
it definitely was.
Whereas this, so many things it was juggling, and the balls dropped. It just dropped all the balls, didn't it? It was trying to juggle like 10 balls, and it dropped all of them. I don't know if any writer would have been able to pull off a satisfying resolution to these threads, but this was a real dog's dinner. Sutex dinner.
Sutex dinner. This is what I was thinking the other day, though. I was kind of thinking, like, if you're thinking to yourself, I've got these 3 ideas. I've got the Rani I'd like to bring back. I've got Omega I'd like to bring back. I've got Susan I'd like to bring back. Like, in your head, you must know, like, that there's 3 seasons in there of material. Like, and it almost feels like, it's like, oh, well, I might not get that much time, so I'm just going to throw it all into this episode. And then it ends up being a complete waste of those things. Because now, like, I mean, you could have done a really good story with Omega. You could have really done some good stuff and dived back into the classic era bits and had a bit of Time Lordy stuff going on and a really strong villain figure. You could have done something like that, and that's just not what you get. And now no one can do that. So it's not like the next person who comes in, like if Rusty Davis leaves and someone picks up the series, someone might be thinking to themselves, you know what, I'd love to have done an Omega story, but I can't do an Omega story because we've just had this disaster. And, like, where do I go with that? Like, I can't do anything with this character now. I've just got to... I mean, I'm not saying you can't bring the character back, but it would be too soon, and it would be hard to take it and make it into something good now. Like... And
I was concerned when it was announced that RTD was returning, because I was like, you wrote such a good era of Doctor Who, and it's been a massive amount of time, and it's risky coming back. And I was hoping to be proven wrong and thinking that, he'd just be able to step back in and just deliver amazing episodes again. And there have been flashes of excellence within there. Some I've genuinely enjoyed. The Giggle was a fun episode. Like, I still look back on that as we were quoting it as a family. That that's all right then. And the bi-generation thing was weird, and it wasn't perfect by any means, and it was a bit silly and throwaway. But it at least had a plot. And it felt like it kind of ran as it felt like enough made sense for you to follow it as a story and suspend your disbelief. Whereas this, it's just like, well, literally anything can happen now.
Yeah.
Nothing really matters. Yeah.
So as a Doctor Who fan, I got into Doctor Who when I was a kid in the 90s, so there was no Doctor Who on telly. So in my head, Doctor Who was over. It finished. It was an old show, and then we had the movie, and of course, it never really came to anything. And you just kind of thought for that period of time up until 2005 that the show was just gone. It you just had this what was there in the classic era and stuff, and great stuff. So you enjoyed it, but it wasn't going to come back anymore. And then the show obviously came back, and you're like, wow, and obviously it was super successful. And now we're sort of 20 years further down the line. And I think, at this point, I'm honestly thinking to myself, what would I rather happen now?
Yeah. Would
I like Russell T Davies to keep going? Or would I rather they just said, we need to stop this now. We need to take a break.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like I'd almost rather it wasn't on telly anymore than keep seeing this disaster. Like, just hammer it more and more into the ground, Yeah, which I've never felt that way. Even in the Chibnall era, like, I thought, like, I mean, it was crap, but like, there was always a hope it might get back. But now it feels like, it almost feels like you've got someone at the helm who has completely lost the plot.
Yeah, it's like you just need someone to say no.
No. I don't think that's such a good idea.
Well, what do we do now, Paul? Is this it?
We just carry on with season 11.
Yeah,
keep
go
watching.
Back to the classic.
Go back to Pertwee era.
Yeah, people will be pleased to know we will be continuing our reactions to the Pertwee era. Sarah Jane has arrived on the scene. It's golden. It's a golden age.
Absolutely. Stark contrast to where we are now.
Yeah, man.
Well, I don't know if I've got any more to say, to be honest, mate. I'm apart from just, I think I just need to go somewhere and scream into a pillow or something.
Yeah. Because it's like, sometimes you need to sit on an episode to figure out what you properly think of it. I can't imagine my opinion of this episode changing. You just get a sense of, yeah, I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, you know what? Actually, that was genius. We'll see. Maybe Billy Piper will be the Doctor and we'll go and find Susan and it's going to be marvellous.
Who knows? Just returning to some old faces, but just the old favourites. Or the women you fancied. I mean, that just, when you think of it that way, that just makes it even weirder.
Yeah, the Doctor has become the woman.
Imagine if they ever meet, the two, Rose Doctor and Rose were to meet. Oh yeah, well, I just loved you so much, I actually became you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not weird and creepy.
This is what happens when a Time Lord fantasizes about a human being.
Rose actually takes our restraining order.
He adopts her
with the Shallow Proclamation.
It's actually really bizarre if you think about it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Dear me.
Yeah.
I couldn't find her, so I just became her.
Gosh. Okay. Well, let us know what you think in the comments, people. We might be completely off base about this, Paul, and we might have a flood of comments saying we've completely
this may be the one that splits the room.
Yeah, very open to disagreement and different opinions and stuff. But yeah, and obviously we want the best for the show, don't we? And we won't say Doctor Who is dead because you never know. But
no,
this is the closest I've come to saying it in a while.
It regenerates.
Exactly. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. I've been Thomas, and you've been.
Oh, I thought you were talking to the audience.
Oh, sorry.
You and I'm Rose.
What's her first line? Oh, hello.
Hello. Dear me.
Brilliant.
Well,
thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.